Vibe 105.
All right, man, it's Apollo P here, Vibe 105. I call us Apollo for the people. I'm on the phone with Rico Nasty, man. Let people know what's up.
Rico, yeah. What's up, y'all?
Man, nothing much. I really, like I was saying before, like I really wanted to talk to you. I find your music really refreshing. I really like what you're bringing to the music game right now. But first off, I want to ask you, where'd you grow up, man?
I grew up in a lot of different places, actually. I mean, I spent some time in boarding school in Baltimore, a little bit in New York, some in D.C., Maryland, a little bit of Virginia. But right now I'm located in the Suitland area, Maryland.
Maryland, so part of the DMV.
What'd you say?
That's part of the DMV, right? I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I hate when people try to box the DMV in, though, because, if you're really from the DMV, you've lived in all places, like in all aspects of the DMV.
Okay. All right, so how was it growing up in those, like, you said first off, how was boarding school? Because that's kind of like, that's kind of wild.
Boarding school was cool. I went to boarding school when I was in middle school from 6th grade to 9th grade, and I actually got expelled for smoking weed, but no love lost. I don't take no L's because I didn't want to be there. Honestly, it was a school mainly for like athletics and sports and just sports and medicine almost. And I just that wasn't my vibe. So a lot of times I'd be at practice, like soccer practice, and I would just sit there and draw or write poetry and shit like that. Like I didn't really fit in there, and I was very happy when I left because I got to go to public school and see what the real world was like and get out of that fucking bubble and be around people who were creative or different, and that was really cool for me.
All right, most definitely. I like to hear that. So living in Maryland, how was it like, just growing up? Was it like, did you experience any like toughness and type of like stuff like that?
Bro, it was so weird going from Baltimore to Maryland. I mean, they're in the same place, of course, and same state. But it's two different levels, Baltimore and Maryland, and I actually went to Flowers High School, so that's like the Largo area. It's two different extremes. Baltimore is more like the hood side, the rough side, and Largo, it's still hood. Don't get it twisted, but it's definitely nicer area, and the people were much nicer there. I never really ran into any problems in high school with people because I really stayed to myself. But if anybody ever had a problem, they would never address me. I don't know why. Like, the girls was just, they weren't catty, but if they didn't like you, they would let it be known. They just wouldn't do no wild shit because they would know better.
So you had these girls, in check.
Yeah, I had them in check in a sense. But then again, I'm a very happy person, carefree person, so I was never really a drama type of girl. Like, if you didn't like me, then you didn't like me. You wasn't going to do shit about it. But if you did, then we were cool as fuck, and we would talk every day, Like, I try to make my life as drama-free as I possibly can just because, it's hard to write, and it's just hard to be a creative person when you're constantly dealing with shit that's irrelevant to where you're trying to be in life.
I feel you. All right, so first off, I want to ask you again, how'd you get into music?
Well, I got into music when I was in the 10th grade. I was hanging out with some people, and they had a studio in their basement, and one day I was just fucking around, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I want to get in the studio. So I got in the studio, made my first song, and then a few months later, some girl dissed me. She didn't really diss me. She said like 2 bars about me, and I dissed her with the collar diss. That was the first song I ever had out. And from there, they wanted me to drop a mixtape, so I dropped my first mixtape in 2014. It's called Summer's Eve. But I was 15 at the time, so I couldn't really go as far as I wanted to. So that mixtape kind of just like, dwindled away, and nobody really hears about it anymore. It was it was something I did just to get some clout in high school, just to be known as that rapper girl, that cool girl, So after that tape came out, I kind of just, I don't know, I stopped doing music because people were trying to book me for shows, and I'm 15, I can't really go anywhere. My mom was not having that shit. She didn't want me to be a rapper at first. I don't know what she wanted me to be, but it was not a rapper. So, after that, I kind of just found my own way, and I got really passionate about my artwork. And from there, I realized that artwork is painting, and it's beautiful, but I really wanted to get into music. So once I graduated from high school and I had my son, I realized, this is what I want to do with my life. Like, if this is what makes me happy, then I'm going to at least try, So ever since then, when I came to that, realization that this is what I wanted to do, I just went and put 110% into everything that I put out. And I think I got some pretty good results.
Yeah, I really do feel you on that. But I want to ask you, you have a kid, right?
Yeah.
Usually when a woman has a child in whatever field she's trying to pursue, that kind of just slows her down or puts her out the game immediately. But that you actually did the opposite. You put like 110%, as you just said, into your music, and it's really doing something for you. What was the mindset you were going through?
It was really because I know that a lot of young girls, they have their babies and they feel like, fuck, I can't do anything anymore, or I got to slow this down. Now, of course you do have to slow down. Like, a lot of people think, when they hang out with me, it's like straight turn up. But I like to keep shit very busy. Like, if I'm in the studio and I book some studio time, I'm not in there smoking with endless niggas, like, I'm in there really working. So if you're in it for the hard work, then it shouldn't slow you down at all. You got to treat that shit like a job, But if you're doing it for fun and just to get high and hang out, like, that'll definitely slow you down because your mind ain't on the bigger picture. It's on what's going on right now. And, people always have their opinions on being a young mother and a single mother at that. They have their own opinions on what you should be doing. But, this music stuff, it's putting food on both of our plates. It got me traveling to different states. It got him having one of like the best birthdays ever. So I ain't really tripping off the slowing me down. If he makes me go harder, bro, because I want him to have everything that I didn't have when I was growing up. And in order to do that, you gotta work fast and you gotta be serious about what you're doing. Ain't no time for bullshitting. You gotta be on it.
Yes. What? So did you have a support team? Because you saying you're a single mother, like that even puts you at a more of a handicap. You know what I mean? So did you have a support team to kind of take care of your little one as you went out and did shows and record and stuff like
that? My mom. The whole crazy part about my son is the way he came about. Because for a minute I didn't know I was pregnant, and when I did find out I was pregnant, I was still dealing with my depression from losing his father. So once I lost him, it was just I really didn't feel like I had anything. And my mom and my dad and my child's father, his mother, they all saw how happy the music made me, and they were just like, whatever you need, we're there 100%. Whatever you need. So it's never like when I go out of state, he's with one select person who always gets the baby. They're usually fighting over him. And I usually try to cut down the times. Like when people get me for out of state shows, they try to keep me up there for like 3 days. And 9 times out of 10, I'll just go in the morning and leave at night because I hate being away from him. So it's hard, but it'll be easier. Not too much longer.
All right. Just I'm gonna move off on this a little bit, but just one more question. So during that time, during the whole pregnancy, child, did you want to give up rapping? Do you think about like let me just leave music alone?
Yeah, definitely. That was the first thing that came to my mind once I heard this. Damn, like, even if I wanted to do this, I can't because of what people are going to think about me. And then, once I had to go public with my pregnancy, you really see how people think about you.
Mm-hmm.
They'll talk like they don't care, and they'll go on you. And once I realized, like, damn, this is probably like the worst thing I've ever gone through as far as like people talking about me, I realized that it can't get no worse than that. Like, it can't. Like, I'm talking people that I'm friends with for years turning their back on me just because I got a baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was very blessed that I felt like that because in that time frame, I was able to think and really figure out what I was going to do about my child. I wasn't worried about the music. I wasn't worried about, like, what am I going to do when he gets here? How am I going to raise him? That's more so what I was concerned about. The music part, it was just like, damn, oh, well, and I just went and got a regular job. I wasn't really stuck on it. But then once I got my regular job, I said, fuck no, I can't do this. So I definitely got back into the music very fast. I was like, this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. And,
I hear that. Well, during the time I heard you were working at a hospital, right?
Yeah.
All right. Funny thing, my mom's a nurse as well, so I was like, all right, that's kind of cool.
Oh, wow.
Um.
No, I was working front desk.
Oh.
And, oh, my God, it was terrible. You know, it was a very gloomy place. You know, people come in and they're sick, or, you know, husbands are rolling their wives in their wheelchairs, and their wives are like, you know, we don't even live together. I'm in a nursing home. It's just very sad. You know, it's very sad. It just, working there every day just showed me, like, life is never promised, and you will get old one day. You know, you will get old, and one day somebody's going to have to take care of you. So it was very sad being there, and it taught me a lot. I even wrote iCarly while I was at work.
Wow.
So it taught me a lot being there. It taught me a lot about appreciating life and being thankful for people that love you, and thankful for the people that will eventually be the ones taking care of you.
That's a fact. That's a fact.